Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing fine. I get excited coming here. I think because it's really something that I like to do, so I really get excited coming. So today I want to talk to you guys about something. I want us to talk about the difference between occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. In the beginning of your first fundamental exam, they might test you on stuff like that. Like they'll kind of give you like scenario, what patients would you refer to, occupational therapy or physical therapy. So that's why I want us to talk about this. So if you are not watching and you have not subscribed, I'm so mad at you right now. Why haven't you subscribed? So please subscribe, okay? So let's just go right into it. Okay, so what is occupational therapist and what do they do? Occupational therapists, basically, they assess, they plan for our patients to regain activities of daily living. You get it? I think you got it. Occupational therapists, what do? They assess, they plan for clients to regain their activities of daily living. So example, let's just say you have a patient that used to be able to feed themselves before, and all of a sudden as the nurse you notice that this patient, when they are feeding themselves, they seem to be struggling. They can't even pick up the spoon, they can't even lift up the spoon in their mouth. Those kind of patients, you will refer them to occupational therapist. Okay, hope you are getting it. If you have a patient that used to be able to put their clothes on before, all of a sudden you notice as the nurse that these patients, every time they are putting their clothes on, they seem to not be able to do it anymore. They were just able to do it last week. So things like that, you will discuss it with the doctor, and the doctor will tell you to refer them to occupational therapist. So basically you will just do the paperwork, but you get the order from the doctor on the phone. So let me just break it down in more details. Occupational therapists, they deal with helping patients regain their function of activities of daily living. Anything that has to do with the patient learning how to comb their hair, anything that has to do with patients able to feed themselves, anything that has to do with patients being able to put on their clothes, that's what occupational therapists do. They help them to be able to do that again. Now, physical therapists, what do? Physical therapists, they assess and they plan for patients to be able to regain their musculoskeletal function. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so let's say you have a patient that used to be able to walk before. You notice it as a nurse, this patient is not walking like they used to walk. They seem to be limping, they're not walking right. So what you will do as the nurses, you will notify the doctor. Hey, I noticed this patient is not working right. And the doctor will say, okay, refer them to physical therapist. And what physical therapists will do is they will assess how that patient is walking. If they are doing it wrong, they will teach the patient how to walk. They will watch their gait. Another example, let's say you have a patient that just had a let's say hip replacement. You know, most of the time when they have a hip replacement, they are no weight bearing for a while. So let's say the doctor has released them to be weight bearing as tolerated. Okay, so physical therapists, they will be the one to assess how the patient walk. They will be the one to assess their gait. If the patient is not walking right, physical therapists will say, you're not doing it right. This is how I want you to do it. This is how I want you to walk. This is how you walk. So they basically help the patient on how to walk without falling, working effectively. That's what physical therapists do. So a basic way to understand it, are you getting me? I hope you are getting me. A simple way to understand it is occupational therapists, they deal with anything of upper extremities. Physical therapists, they basically deal with things of lower extremities. Hold on to that point. Now, let's talk about speech therapists. Speech therapists, this is what they do. They help to assess and plan for a patient with swallowing difficulties and speaking difficulties. You get it? So let's say you have a patient that used to be able to swallow food themselves before. They used to be able to eat and swallow and feed themselves. All of a sudden, you notice that every time these patients swallow, they cough. Or every time this patient is drinking water, they constantly cough. So stuff like that, you will notify the doctor, and the doctor will refer this patient to speech therapist. And speech therapist will evaluate how this patient swallow. If this patient is swallowing wrong or they are drinking too fast, speech therapy will educate them, teach them how to do it. Another example. Let's say you have a patient, hope you are listening to me. Let's say you have a patient that used to be able, to swallow regular meals. You notice that this patient, when they swallow regular meals, they seem to be coughing, more of like choking, but when they swallow soft food, they seem to be doing fine. So those kind of patients, it's a change in the patient. Remember, assessment is a change. So you will notify the doctor, and the doctor will tell you to refer the patient to speech therapist. So speech therapist will evaluate the patient, and they might change their diet to soft diet. If their diet was regular diet before or soft diet and they are coughing, they might change it to liquid diet. So in conclusion, I want to break this down so that you can get it. In conclusion, occupational therapists, they deal with regaining activities of daily living function. I can't put on my clothes, I can't comb my hair, I can't wear my socks. Occupational therapist will help you do that. So if you get a question on your nursing exam that says, what patient would you refer to occupational therapist? Make sure you pick somebody that has to do with function ADLs, activities of daily living, combing, hair, grooming, not able to use their spoon to swallow. Pick patient like that. If they say which patient would you refer to occupational therapist, if they say which patient would you refer to physical therapist, if you get a question like that, pick a patient that they are not able to walk well, they are not able to use their gaits well. When they are walking, it seems like they are limping. Pick patients like that. Just pick patient like that. Now, speech therapist, you already know that one. That one has to do with coughing, swallowing. Let's say they give you an example of a patient that had stroke, and the patient is in a rehabilitative facility. That's usually where they go to a rehabilitation center, and the patient is learning how to speak. Who would you refer this patient to? You refer this patient to speech therapist. So anything mouth, swallow, speech therapist. Anything activities of daily living like grooming, dressing, combing the hair, occupational therapist. Anything that has to do with walking, your gait while you are walking, you're not walking steadily, you fall, now you are limping. Speech physical therapist, you refer those persons to physical therapists. So that's all I want to talk to you guys about. I will see you in the next vlog. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to encourage me. Please subscribe to motivate me. I will see you in the next vlog. Don't forget to still keep safe. COVID-19 is still real. So keep safe. All right, bye. See you again. Bye.